Hola, buenas noches. My name is Lacey, and thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, Our Life in Guanajuato, Mexico. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why we homeschool and just a little bit about how we homeschool, because that is a question that some of you have asked me and wanted me to share more information about, so I thought I would make a video about it. So thank you for joining me for this video. If you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like any of the videos that you enjoy so that I can get an idea of what kind of videos to make in the future and what information to share about our life here in Guanajuato, Mexico. So, why do we homeschool? Well, I can give you a little bit of a backstory and explain that. We homeschool because we had one of our daughters pass away. Her name was Ariella. I made a memorial video of her on her death anniversary back on November 22nd if you want to go and see some beautiful pictures of her. So she passed away suddenly and unexpectedly in November 6 years ago. And that is when we started our homeschooling journey. All of my children were in public school and everybody was doing fine. I used to work and have a full-time job. And then after my daughter passed away, obviously there was a lot of grief and mourning that needed to be done. And so my children didn't go to school for a couple of weeks for her funeral and just mourning that loss. And we were contacted by their school district that we were in that the children needed to come back to school. Otherwise, they would have to let the county know that the children were being truant. And then we would have to deal with social services and maybe the court system, kind of depending on how we dealt with it after that. So obviously, after just a short couple of weeks, we were not done mourning, and so I felt like as a mother, it was my job. Okay, what do we do? And I have heard of this thing called homeschooling and wasn't very familiar with it at all. Wasn't very confident in myself with the knowledge that I had. I had a lot of doubts. I did not go to school to be a teacher, but it was just pulling on my heartstrings that it needed to be done. Homeschooling was our only option. I wasn't going to send my children back to public school right after their sister passed away. I just wasn't going to do that. We had lots of outbursts with tears and a lot of emotions, and that would have been the worst thing for us. So we decided to homeschool for the rest of that year. We did our homeschooling kind of part-time as we were mourning, and then we enjoyed our summer as much as we could. And then all of a sudden the next school year came, and we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? And everybody was like, let's homeschool again. Everybody really, really enjoyed it. And I was really surprised because I really enjoyed it. I loved having the kids at home. I loved being more involved in their education. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's homeschool for another year. So then I quickly needed to decide, okay, we need some kind of curriculum, because last year when we were mourning, we kind of just did some math and some reading just so that we could stay current in those subjects. So I joined some online groups and did a little bit of investigating. And right away I came to find Ambleside online, and I will put a link to Ambleside online in the description box below if you want to check it out. It is a wonderful curriculum, and we have been using it for the last 5 years. It is reading intensive, but there's so much good stuff in there. And it's also a Christian-based curriculum, and we are a Christian family. So that was really attractive for us as well. On our homeschooling journey, we had tried quite a few things as homeschoolers. There are homeschool co-ops that we had joined to make friends and to get to know the homeschooling community around where we are. Made lots of friends, lots of connections, and that was just a really good experience for everybody. We really enjoyed that. The homeschool co-op we went to twice a month and just did some activities or took some classes that the other parents wanted to teach, and then just kind of socialized and hung out and made really good friends. And so I highly recommend that. If you choose to homeschool or you're homeschooling right now and you're not a part of a co-op, if you could find a co-op with like-minded families, it was really beneficial to us because a couple of my children are social butterflies, and they just were really missing that connection with some people and some friends. And so that's how we went about fixing that. And then, of course, also we have a church that we attend once or twice a week, and we hang out with friends and stuff like that as well. So there's always this big question about socialization. What do I do? How do I keep my children socialized? And honestly, the best socialization that your children can get, in my opinion, is with their family and with very close friends that are like-minded to what your family is like. And that's plenty. And I also learned that as parents, you are enough. You are plenty. No matter your education level, no matter how much time you spend, you are enough. And God gave you those children for a reason. So don't be scared. I learn every day right along with my girls, and there's no shame in that at all. And now that we've been homeschooling for 6 years, I have relearned and relearned things, so they're stuck in here. So no worries. That's just my experience though. How do we homeschool? I'll just touch on that really quickly and shortly. We, like I said, use Ambleside Online. It's a homeschooling curriculum that's Christian-based and reading-based. It is based off of Charlotte Mason, a woman that had these certain set of beliefs on how children learn and how they retain information and what they can accomplish, and she is very well recognized. And so Ambleside Online kind of put all of this curriculum that Charlotte Mason would approve of, like living books, and put it all together for us. So it's super, super easy. I just go online and I go to their schedules that they have printed off, that you can print off, and then I go in and make some changes to fit my students, my girls, and then I print it off and bam, there it is. And then I just go and order all the books. So here are some of the books that my kindergartner is reading for her curriculum this year. She has a bunch of stories in this book called Just So Stories, and they're by Rudyard Kipling. Really short. They keep her attention, and then she just does an oral narration of what we read after we read it, and just kind of tells me what she remembers from the story. Age of Fable by Thomas Bulfinch, another really good book. Lots of short stories in here that a kindergartner can listen to and pay attention to and enjoy. Another one of her books, Aesop Fables, another short stories. Hi, sorry about that, the video cut out. But we were talking about Aesop Fables, another book that my kindergartner listens to as I read her stories, with really good lessons. And the stories are short but really, really good. I really like this book because the illustrations are just beautiful. And Charlotte Mason would call this a living book. So if you want to know more about Charlotte Mason or a curriculum created and designed around what she thought and what she believed for a children's education, there's tons of information online, tons of YouTube videos that I have gotten a lot of my information from, and learn more about her as we have been doing our homeschooling journey. But like I said, we've been homeschooling for 6 years, and 5 of those years we've been using the same curriculum. I just really, really love it. The kids really love it. We're very happy with it. I just wanted to show you a little bit too. All of my children have their own homeschool portfolio that we use every year, where they keep all of their works in, and then it's stored. I have a whole bin over here of our past portfolios, and this is my kindergartner's portfolio with her works and things that she's been working on. And here is the Ambleside online curriculum. I wanted to show you what her kindergarten schedule looks like. So when we highlight, that means that we've done it, but it's super easy, super nice to read, easy to read, and nice to keep on track. But I literally just print this off, and then we go at it after I've made some adjustments. So that is why we homeschool, and a little bit about how we homeschool. We do not homeschool just because we're in Mexico. We do not homeschool because we do not trust or we do not like the Mexican school system. It has nothing to do with us being in Mexico. It is because we like to be together as a family now, and I really believe and feel convicted that parents should be the ones teaching their children.